Hello everyone, welcome to Volkov Dev. Today I will show you how to start coding in Python on your own laptop or PC. If you're new to coding or to Python in specific, then this video is perfect for you. Let's get started. Alright, so first things first, let's start installing Python. So we're going to type python.org, we're going to hit enter, and we're going to see this page here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on downloads, and then we're going to select the latest version for Windows. Or if you have different OS, then you can select either Linux, Mac OS, or other here. But we have Windows, so we're going to go ahead with Windows. It will download here. And once it's ready, we're going to go ahead and click on this installer to start installing Python. The most important thing with the Python installation here is to check off this box, adding python.exe to path. This basically allows Python to be ran from any command prompt, any CMD command prompt window around the computer, basically adding it to the overall computer's, think of it as access point for the program itself. So we're going to check that off, and then we're going to hit install, or we can do a custom installation if you want to actually check off anything, but I don't recommend that. Just go ahead and click install now, click yes, and it's going to be initializing. Once that is done, I'll go ahead and show you what's next. All right, so we see here that setup was successful. Python has been installed. We're going to go ahead and click close. And now that we know that we've added Python to our path, how we're going to check for it if it is actually installed correctly. So we're going to go ahead and click search here, and we're going to type CMD, and then we're just going to open. Now that we have the CMD menu open, all we got to do is type Python space hyphen version and click enter. And that shows us that we have a Python installed. Now notice how I have a 3.12.2 even though I've installed a 3.13. That is because I've had the 3.12 installed before the 3.13. However, there's a method to switch between different Python versions on your computer, which I'll show in a different video. But now we know that we actually have a Python installed. If for any reason you don't see any version here or you get an error, this means that you probably didn't check off the path checkbox. So I would recommend reinstalling Python, like uninstalling what you have installed, and then reinstalling it and making sure that you've checked off the path. Next up, we're going to install Visual Studio Code, which is a free and popular code editor. To do so, we're going to go to code.visualstudio.com, and then we're going to click download for Windows. We can wait for that to finish downloading, but for me, I've already installed it before, so I'm going to click on the installer here, and then I'm going to accept the agreement, click next. I'm going to make sure that this is added to path, the same concept as Python installation. We want to access Visual Studio Code from all around Windows. Then we can create a desktop icon if we like. Next. And finally, click install. Once that's done, we can check off Launch Visual Studio Code and click Finish. And there we are. We have our code editor ready. Alright, now that we have Python installed and we have Visual Studio Code installed, all we're going to do is we're going to add an extension here that basically allows better support for Python within Visual Studio Code. And to do so, as you can see, I've clicked the extensions icon. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And then I'm going to type Python in the search. And we're going to click the first one here, the official Microsoft extension for Python. And we can click install. I already have it installed, but I'm going to reinstall it again just to show you how simple it is. And this is all done. Also, I recommend installing this right here, Python indent. It makes your life easier with formatting Python. Now that we have this extension ready, we're going to go ahead and click Explorer, the icon up top here. We can close this. And here we just want to basically open a folder that would contain our Python scripts in the future. So click Open Folder. I'm going to place a folder on desktop here. Right click, New Folder, and I'm just going to make it Python Projects. I'm going to name it that. And we're going to select folder or click on it. It's ready here. Select folder. And now that we have that folder open at the top left, we want to add an actual Python file into it by clicking this first icon here, New File. It's showing us this field. Now we can type the the name of the Python file that we want, right? So we can write something like Python underscore test underscore 1.py. This name doesn't really matter. You can name it whatever you want. You can name it test.py. What matters is basically the format of the file, because this is Visual Studio's way of understanding what kind of a file you are trying to run on it. So if I remove this, it would understand what kind of a file it is. If I put Java, it will understand this is a Java file. If I put CPP, it will understand that this is a C++ file. But it's very, very important for us to put .py in the end of this file. And now that I've named it and I pressed enter, it automatically opened it up for me. So we know that this is a Python file, so let's start writing some Python code. I'm gonna write a simple statement like print hello, this is Python. I'm gonna click Control S to save this file, and then I'm gonna click on this run icon here. And as you can see, hello, this is Python. It ran correctly. Just as an extra tip here, you can see at the top here on the left side, this is where Python is actually installed. This is my version of Python 3.12. And this right here is where the script is running from, which is on desktop, as you can see, under Python projects and the actual file name. Then right below that, you'll see the output. So I can add something like another statement here. Oh, this is statement 2. And we're going to click Control S to save this file. Run this again, and you can see that there are two Python there are two Python statements within this Python file running. And that's it. You're all set up with Python and VS Code, and you've already written your first script. Now you're ready to dive deeper into Python and build some amazing projects. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and give me a subscribe also to the channel, and hit that bell icon for more coding tutorials in the future. I'm going to be focusing primarily on Python development right now, so please stay tuned if you want to see more projects. Thanks a lot for watching, and happy coding!